Hello, this is Tom Britt. West Tennessee PBS is working hard to bring you more local shows and quality PBS programs. And they need your financial help because they don't run commercials, they rely on your support. It's easy to donate. Go to their website, westtnpbs.org, and click on the Donate tab. Your donations to Channel 11 stay local and help WLJT-TV continue their mission to be as local as possible.
Thank you, President David, and it's my pleasure to be able to introduce our guest today. So about this time last year, I had the pleasure of putting together a search committee for the next conductor of the Jackson Symphony. And the intention was to, well, actually, we had about 180 applicants for the position from 5 or 6 different countries. The applications were all around the country and all around the world. And we narrowed it down to about 3 from that 180. And it was the intention to bring each of those 3 in to perform in front of the audience for this season. But we broke protocol. We believed that we found the right person. We traveled to Fayetteville, Arkansas to see Paul Haas lead the orchestra there. And after seeing that, there were 2 very salient things from seeing him live there. And one was not just his performance and the orchestra's performance, but the audience. And we were overwhelmed by the audience in the concert hall there on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It was full of young people. There were elementary students, there were high school students, there were college students, there were young families with their children who built this audience there. And it was very impressive to see that interest. And they were all just immersed in that. And then the second thing that really stood out was after the concert, everyone waited around. They hung out. They were like groupies waiting to see the star. And that was really the case. They were all waiting in the lobby of the concert hall to see the conductor come out and engage with them. He had become their friend. He had been there for 15 years as the conductor, and many of them knew him and wanted to see him and talk to him. And he obliged and did that, spent that time interacting with the audience there. So we had dinner with Paul that evening, and after a long dinner and conversation, the next day we were driving back to Jackson, and we said, wow, well, we think we're done with this. Let's bring him to Jackson and see how he engages with Jackson, and maybe we just start a season with him. And that's what we were able to do. So we're excited about that. I have some career notes. Early in his career, Paul conducted the New York Youth Symphony, and then let me step back and mention a little bit of his education. He grew up in San Francisco, California. He attended Yale University, and while at Yale, he discovered that he has this innate superpower to hear music differently than most of us do, and that led him to go into conducting at Yale. And from Yale, he went to Germany and studied conducting for a bit, and was invited to try out for Juilliard. So he left Germany to come back to New York, and he was chosen one out of 100 or so students to attend Juilliard School in New York City for conducting that year. He has performed at Thunder Bay Orchestra in Ontario, Canada. He's led the orchestra there. Boston University's prestigious Tanglewood Institute, in addition to being at the Symphony of Northwest Arkansas for 15 years. He led the New York Youth Symphony, as I mentioned, and Paul is now in Jackson, where he is spending about a week of each month here in Jackson. He lives otherwise with his family in Hudson Valley, New York, the beautiful Hudson Valley, and works from there as well. We're glad he's here, and if you have not had a chance to meet Paul or engage with Paul, come to the concert on Saturday night, and he'll be the one standing by the door as you leave. So, in addition to being on stage, but you can't talk to him there. So, I'm proud to introduce and welcome Paul Haas.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Rotarians. And thank you to the most welcoming committee I've ever run across in my professional career. This has been an astounding first few months. I'm thrilled to be the Jackson Symphony's new music director. And I think one of the first orders of business we have to attend to is setting the record straight. We think that the Jackson Symphony is one of the best kept secrets in all of West Tennessee. Now, why? I think it's because it's so easy for someone to hear the words, the Jackson Symphony, and come up with a picture for themselves of who they think we are, and then they don't look any deeper. And so what do most people think of when they hear the word symphony? Take a second. I'm just guessing, but most people might come up with the words stiff, stuffy, rules you have to follow. Maybe thinking that you're out of place, that it's not really for you. And in a lot of orchestras, that might be the case. But what we are at the Jackson Symphony is a big family. We are there to have fun, and we are there to party. That's pretty much it. Another thing you might be thinking is we play a bunch of old music by dead white guys. And some of what we play is, of course, old music by dead white guys. But just this season, at the Starlight concert, we played an entire concert of pieces that everybody knows and loves, for free, by the way. We played the soundtrack to The Nightmare Before Christmas, with the live with the movie. Of course, Holiday Pops, everybody knows and loves every single piece we play. We're going to be playing music from the hit series Bridgerton, the Netflix series Bridgerton. And not to mention our final concert of the season will be the music of Queen in concert. So I would venture that we're not just playing old music by old dead white guys. This is the music of today and a whole lot of fun. Another thing someone might say to themselves, this is a dying and irrelevant art form. Now, while across the country it may be true that many orchestras are shrinking and their audiences are shrinking and they are losing money, but not here in Jackson. Here in Jackson, in West Tennessee, we are growing and thriving. Our budget has grown over 2x over the past few years, and we're looking to 2x that again over the coming 5 to 10 years. And each one of our first 3 concerts this season broke attendance records. So when you think of the Jackson Symphony, what do you think of? Take a second. I mean, of course, for most people, it's our concerts. We're up on stage 8 times per season with 60+ players with that orchestra, and we do give great concerts. And you should come to our concerts because they're great and a lot of fun. But that's a tiny fraction of what we do. Did you know that through our Jackson Symphony Music Academy, we will teach about 400 kids in West Tennessee how to play an instrument or sing this year? We give them the instrument and we give them weekly instruction, as well as performance opportunities in ensembles, free of charge if they can't afford it. You know, back in the 90s, schools across America cut music and cut the arts out of curricula. And it may have made sense at that time for budgetary reasons, but we see that it was not the wisest choice looking forward. And so I think everybody knows this, but it bears repeating that it is scientifically proven through study after study that if a child grows up playing music, playing an instrument, singing in ensembles, doing the music thing as they grow up, they are more likely, much more likely to succeed on any metric you put in front of them. Whether it's their income, whether it's their happiness, their fulfillment, any way you want to measure it, they are more likely to succeed. And so here in West Tennessee, the Jackson Symphony is providing a better future for thousands of West Tennessee kids. Then, through our Symphony on the Move programs, we have played over 100 concerts in counties throughout West Tennessee, bringing access to great music, great live music, of course, to communities who otherwise would never have access to that kind of experience. In fact, a substantial number of our new ticket buyers are coming from these communities. They find out about us through these concerts, and then they invest their time and their money to buy tickets and come in and hear us live at the Carl Perkins Civic Center. It's been an amazing trend to witness. Then our music and healing programs, our outreach there has touched thousands of lives, both in West Tennessee healthcare and then in the Kirkland Cancer Center. In fact, the impact of this work is so it's so big. I'm trying to think of the word for that. Anyway, the impact has been so huge that it's led us to begin expanding our reach across West Tennessee, both to medical and senior care facilities. Now, with all of that in mind, all the things we're doing, I hope it's clear that we're hard at work removing barriers that keep people from engaging with the arts and from reaping all the benefits that I was talking about earlier that come with that engagement with the arts. And in fact, when I was beginning my next, started looking for my next music director position last fall, Jackson caught my eye immediately. Because they were already doing the work that needed to be done. No other symphonies out there doing that. There wasn't a single orchestra out there who could compete with this unique situation. A fantastic staff, a fantastic board, a supportive community, and they were already doing so much to change the game for West Tennessee. I've never been more excited about my work than I have been over the past 7 months. It's been incredible. We listen to our audiences and our stakeholders. That is not true across the country, I promise you. We listen to them as we design the future of the Jackson Symphony. We ruthlessly examine our programming to figure out how we can have more impact, how we can change more lives, and how we can stretch our resources even further. We're constantly refining our approach to giving concerts, both on the main stage and across the region. We want to make it much more fun and much more accessible. We're giving West Tennessee's youth a shot at a much brighter future with our education and ensemble programs in the Jackson Symphony Music Academy. And we're out there playing and reaching people at their most isolated, most vulnerable, loneliest, and most in need of the comfort and meaning that great music brings. You know, when I look across this country, and I look at all the orchestras shrinking, not meeting their budget, losing money, not truly engaging with the community, and then I look at the huge impact, the outsized impact that the Jackson Symphony is having on all of West Tennessee, how we're growing our budget, increasing our reach, changing so many lives. I can't help but feel blessed to have been chosen to lead this amazing organization. working alongside Sherry, our incredible staff, and a board that knows how to get things done. And what I've talked about today is only the beginning. Our impact is going to continue to grow day by day, year by year. If anything I've said today strikes a nerve with you, gets you excited, come talk to me. Talk to Sherry. Talk to Greg. Talk to any one of us. This is a singular moment in time when a band of people come together to change the trajectory for our entire region. Let's do it together. And seriously, come to our concerts. If you're not, you're 100% missing out on something amazing. If you have any doubts, come this Saturday evening, 7:30 at the Civic Center. It's called Cocktails and Classics. Cocktails and Classics. Let us erase your doubts once and for all. In fact, to close out, I'd like to close out by listening to the final piece we played on our opening concert this season, September 6th. You might recognize it. I might also mention that it's not the sort of thing you typically would hear at the end of a symphony concert. So take it away. So, regardless of whether the Vols are your team or not, I think we can all agree that we are your symphony. We are everyone's symphony. We're here for you, and we're here for everyone, all across West Tennessee. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I would be happy to answer any questions that anyone has. I'm an open book. The floor is yours. Yeah.
If perchance, after Thanksgiving, Vanderbilt beats UT, would you do an arrangement of dynamite?
Can you afford my hourly is my question. Yeah.
I'm delighted you're here in Jackson, but it is true
100%.
If I wanted to get in that university that you went to, would I have to yell real loud to get in?
I think that was the very definition of a dad joke. We'll have a competition later, dad jokes. No one else?
Paul, I didn't mention it in your bio, but would you just tell a little bit about your Sympho work, or Paul is a visionary in creating an installation piece, and it reminded me of it when I saw the video there, because of course the videographer was on stage or in the middle of the musicians, and you've done some work where you create a scenario where the audience is commingled with the orchestra.
Yeah, so I began my career by honestly hating most concerts that I went to. I'd get bored. I went to, the first concert I ever went to was, I think, Mozart, and when I was 5, and I hated it. I really, I think I need a little bit more entertainment or something like that. So yeah, at the beginning of my career, I went to all concerts and took notes of all the things that really annoyed me. And I had a really long list. And so what I did was I formed my own organization and got a bunch of my friends together, and we created concert experiences that were designed for people like me, people like, I'm assuming you, who don't want to be bored when they go somewhere. And so, the first concert we did was in this rundown church on the Lower East Side of New York City. Let's see, it was in the round. So the orchestra was in the middle of the room, and the audience was surrounding it. And the orchestra traveled to different parts of the room during the concert. We had a lighting show. We had mirrored sculptures hanging from the ceiling. It was crazy. And so that kicked off Sympho, was the name of the organization. I think that ran until like 2017. Anyway, so I got commissioned by places like the Park Avenue Armory in New York City, Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, this random 80-foot tall tower out in the California wine country with double helix interior staircases, where we ranged musicians all the way up one of the staircases and the audience all the way up the other staircase, and musicians couldn't see or hear one another. And that was amazing, and also 105 degrees outside. Anyway, so it's been an incredible and meaningful part of my life to kind of wake up people to their surroundings and what's possible through sound and sight and just experience in these installations that I've done. And obviously, it's being a composer myself. I wrote a lot of that music, and it's informed the way I write music, because I now always think spatially. In fact, this Saturday night, there will be a piece that we do that I wrote where we will have musicians out in amongst the audience to have an atmospheric effect that only you know about in this room. No one else will know about it. Until it happens, obviously, it'll be hard to miss. Anyway, so that's I think covers that pretty well. Anyone else? It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much, all of you.
The program you've been watching was made possible through the generous financial support of West Tennessee PBS viewers like you. Please visit westtnpbs.org and make a donation today so that we can continue to make local programs like this possible. Thank you.
It's all about home.